Alright, so I watched an anime recently called Bullbuster. What a surprise. I looked at the box art and expected a total nonsense and a slog, but clicked because the character design looked goofy enough to at least be funny. It was completely the opposite. A serious, surprisingly mature story about a fairly fantastical problem tackled in a very realistic way. I recommend it. What is it about? A giant robot industry, surprisingly fickle. One day you're on top of the world, pitching deals, designing new technology, and move to the forefront of innovation. And the next you're sent to the backwater to deal with pests. Only it might be a bit more than just mere pests. Already responsible for deaths of several, it's up to the Namidome Industries to fix everything and get to the bottom of it. What did I enjoy? How realistic it was tackled. This is an anime series about giant robots fighting monsters, although scale might be a bit less than expected. It's like the size of 2 cars maybe. Generally not Godzilla level in cities or something like that. Although... no, I won't say more. Anyway, instead of having constant fighting, it's actually a lot more about the people and the financial situation of all things. Think about how expensive it would be to have any of those things. Giant robots ain't free. To maintain, to run the day-to-day, to pay wages, buy ammo, transport to the island without owning a boat, negotiate contracts for funding, actually try to get anything from the researcher who refused to find anything without pay. The whole thing is a giant, realistic mess. I was shocked how the whole thing was tackled as an adult issue, because truly, that's the way the world works. Sure, I would like to believe that people would do the right thing, but at the end of the day, if there is no money in it, nobody would lift a finger. Namidome is falling apart, cracking at the seams, and at one point is so desperate they get to fundraising through crowdfunding, all the while their parent company refuses to let the secret about giant monsters out, instead covering the whole thing up and keeping the government out of it. Depressing and fascinating. And to add to that, I also enjoyed the workplace drama in politics. Despite having such a strange place to work, it's populated by fairly regular people. Sure, some are more interesting than others, but overall it is the same place as any. The way depression is tackled is also fairly nice. These people are emotional and don't just blindly have fun running around shooting guns. It was refreshing. And I suppose I enjoyed the message. Sure, it's old and unoriginal in the end, but it's still something that should be said, which is stick to your principles and do the right thing. It's a little simple, but I enjoyed how dramatic it was. After all, at multiple times people in the story could just let the sleeping dogs lie, ignore the problems and just do what they were told, possibly living out a much better life as a result, being absorbed into a bigger company, getting a bigger paycheck, not making waves, and instead they did what they had to do. It's enjoyable to see. And I guess another thing to mention is Nikaido. I like characters like her, and she's had a touching story happen here. Not gonna spoil it, and it's fairly by the book, but again, the care, attention, and how dramatic and impactful everything is was very much on point. So what did I dislike? Hell if I know, really. I think this anime as a whole doesn't actually do anything wrong, but it's specifically not doing anything completely right either. So it's not revolutionary or unique. So I do appreciate how good it is, and I do enjoy it quite a bit, and while I can't point out the flaws, I can't say that it had a significant impact on me. I'm not a big fan of mecha in general. At times I've enjoyed stories with them, but something just doesn't resonate with me. It's all very... what is even the word? I guess the way I can put it, despite not being my thing, Bullbuster succeeds at telling a workplace drama in a fairly interesting setting and captures my interest, at least for the time being. I might not have strong feelings about it, but my time was not wasted and I do feel like it's worth recommending to people.